But I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage of our so-called trade partners to come so we can renegotiate some fairness into trade. They've been ripping us off for years. In 15 years from now, China is going to be the most important economic power if we don't get on the ball. They think our politicians are the dumbest men on earth. They can't believe what they're getting away with.
Well, President Trump has been pushing for fair trade for decades, but as Democrats slam his tactics, could tariffs be part of the president's master plan to fix foreign policy? Here to weigh in is Vice President for Foreign Policy at the Heritage Foundation, James Carafano. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, good to be with you.
So let's begin by what President Trump had to say on Mexico, China, and some other countries just yesterday from Iowa.
We just did a wonderful deal on the border with Mexico, and it's going to be a big difference. And we're doing a job with China, and watch what happens with China. And we have many other countries that are opening up.
Many other countries that are opening up. So is that a signal to you that he plans on using these tariffs to further foreign policy deals?
I don't think so. I think Mexico and China are two very different situations. In Mexico, I think, look, the president had a really tough challenge. The Mexicans weren't cooperating. Congress, left him high and dry, and he needed to secure the border. So I think pressing Mexico to better cooperate was essential. I understand that. And I think the deal that they achieved is important, and I think it will help make the difference. But in the end, the solution to the problem on the border is serious reform on the border, on immigration enforcement, on legal immigration, and the plan that the president put out there that Heritage has talked about. And if we don't do that, then that's the prize. We got to keep our eyes on the prize. That's what has to happen.
Yeah,
China's a different situation.
Yeah, that's something that has needed to happen for a very long time across multiple different administrations. You said China's a completely different story, though.
Yeah, look, the president is spot on complaining about China. I mean, what are the big problems? They're not trade, stealing our intellectual property, cyber crimes, lifting out the information of whole industries, recreating the industry and undercutting them, unfair business practices, state-owned enterprises. I mean, it's not unfair trade. It's literally economic warfare on the part of China. But in the end, and the president's right to put back, in the end, tariffs are not the answer for the United States. We are a capitalist country. Free markets are a home game for us. Our goal has to be to get back to free markets because that's where we compete best. And I think in the end, President Trump knows that.
Yeah, he says that, we've acted as the world's piggy bank for a long time now. But he's also mentioned tariffs in relation to other countries as well, France, India, also Canada.
Yeah, again, I think the long-term strategy is to press for free markets because that's where we compete best. That's the home game for us. We are fighting on our turf when we are dealing in free markets, and I think that's the objective. Tariffs, I think, are a limited instrument. They're not a foreign policy.
I mentioned Canada there because the U.S. and Canada does have what's referred to as a safe third country treaty between us. He's looking to do the same with Mexico. Looks like there is one. Is it possible that this could have been part of the deal?
Maybe. If he pulled it off, it would be a game changer. Under international law, you're supposed to seek refugee status in the first safe harbor. In other words, the first country where you're not threatened. Technically speaking, that should be Mexico. It should not be the United States. Transiting one country, kind of country shopping, is not what refugee policy is for. So it would be an appropriate agreement. It'd be consistent with our obligations under national law, and it'd actually be good for the region. And other countries actually should join in that compact. We should have sanity in this and not using refugee, which is a humanitarian instrument, really to fuel illegal migration routes into the United States.
All right. James Carafano, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good day.